Welcome Tamers. Tonight we'll be doing a deck profile video on a new deck from EX07 HeavyMetalDramon. This one I do have it built in person, so I'll be showcasing the deck with the cards that I have. It's a really fun deck. I know a lot of people have been trying to play it and trying to make it work, but we'll go over the different ratios that I have, certain things that I learned from playing the tournament tonight. I went 1 and 2. Not great, but it was a short tournament just because there was a lot of draws. But yeah, if you stick around, I'll be showcasing some gameplay on DCGO, but we'll go right into the deck profile. Alright, here we go. To start off, we'll be going over the eggs. We are running the 4 copies of the EX07 HeavyMetalDramon. This one is when attacking once per turn, if you have 4 or fewer cards in your hand, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with a Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait in the trash. This one, when you would do it, it would be for the cost. So if it's a 3 cost, you would Evo for 3. If it's a 4 cost, you would do a 4 cost Evo. Which it sucks. It would have been great if it was without paying the cost. That way you get to keep turn. But since most of the Evos are pretty up there in terms of like evolution costs, I think going from the 4 to the 5 is 3, and then from the 5 to the 6 is 4 costs. Then there's an alternate cost for most of those, but yeah, we're running this one at 4. If I were to change this egg, it would probably be for a Sunamon, or if not, for something that would let me help pitch out cards. So we're running 4 of these, no 5th egg. Next, we're going into our rookies. We are running 4 copies of the EX06 HeavyMetalDramon. The deck that I'm making is, well, I made is like an offshoot of the heavy metal. Since there's not a lot of cards that are evil dragon or dark dragon, it was hard trying to find something that would work with the deck. But started using the Devi. Is a 3 cost 1k. It goes for 0 on top of a purple, and then it has an on deletion that if your opponent has 5 or fewer cards in their hand, you draw 1 and you trash 1. Helps you mill your hand. And then if they have 7 more cards, they trash a card in their hand, so you're able to like snipe cards from the opponent's hands. And then it has an all turns while your opponent has 6 or fewer cards in their hand, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. So it's a good way for you to get that extra TP boost if you're constantly getting rid of your opponent's hand. So we're running this one at 4. Next we have 4 copies of the main card from the set, which is Impmon. It's a 3 cost 1k Digimon. It evolves for 1 on top of a red or a purple Digi-Egg, and then if it's over a Yaman, it's for 0 cost. And then your turn, when this Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon with a card, the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait reduces evolution cost by 1. And then your turn, Digimon gets 2k DP. So it's a good way for you to get DP boost, and then also reduces your cost from into your level 4s by 1. So it's a really good card. This one we are running at a 4. I believe this one's a must in the deck. Next we are running 2 copies of Ignitemon. This is a BT11 Ignitemon. It's a 4 cost 2k that evos for 0 on top of a Cross Ardent traits, and then evos for 0 on top of a purple Digimon. Then when attacking by deleting one of your other Digimon, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a level less than or equal to deleted Digimon. And then all turns, when you play a Digimon by an effect, you would gain a memory. The reasoning behind this one is just because we have a stack with this one underneath as a source. The moment we play out a Digimon by an effect, we will gain a memory. And also if we need to clear something on their side, we could swing the Ignitemon, pop one of our stacks to delete something on their side. If I were to change some of the rookies, it would probably be this Ignitemon. I feel like tonight I played against a friend. Shout out to Regina, aka Regigglypuff on YouTube. She was playing the new puppet deck with Syndromon. If I had a rookie with Rush, I would have won the match. Unfortunately, I don't have anything that has rush. If I were to swap, I would swap these for the Digimon from EX04 that gains rush, just because we were at a point in the game, in the late game, where we both had more than 20 cards in trash. I had 3 memory. I could have just slammed the Digimon and just swung for game because she has no blockers. But it was an interesting idea I was trying to do, but I never came up. So if anything, I'll probably just end up removing these for a Digimon. Next, we're going into our level 4s. We are running 4 copies of the new Ice One Scatter Mode from EX07. It's a 4 cost 4k, evols for 2 on top of a purple Digimon. As an on-play that you trash 1 card in your hand, and then you may return a Digimon card with an evil, Dark Dragon, or Evil Dragon trait from your trash to the hand. Then it gives retaliation. This one's just a good card to you evo into. Right, it costs 2, gives you thing retaliation. Also, when you play on an effect, buy an effect, you get to trash a card in your hand to bring something back. So you get to cycle pieces into trash that you might need later down the line. So this one's, we're running it at 4. Next, we have the 1 copy of the restricted Icemon. And because we're running 4 Icemons, we could actually make this one bigger. It's a 6 cost 5k, evils for 2 on top of a purple level 3. And then you recharge this card from your hand by using one of your effects, which most of the effects are trashing stuff from our hand. If Icemon Scatter Mode is in the trash, you may play this card without paying its memory costs. Then your turn, for each Icemon Scatter Mode in your trash, this Digimon gets 2k DP. So if we have a lot of Icemon Scatter Modes in trash, we can boost this up all the way up to, I think there was a game where I was almost like 11k. So this one's really good, especially like if you had pitched one previously and then you do an effect, pitch this one, okay, there's a Scatter Mode in trash, I'll get to play it out for free. So this one's a really good card. It is restricted for a reason. Next, we have also another restricted card. It's just 1 copies of Icemon Scatter Mode. All these are Dark Dragon, so they do meet the requirements from the egg. So if this is in trash, we could swing and then force the Digivolve into this. So this one's a 4 cost 4k as well. It goes for 2 on top of a level 3 purple Digimon. Then on deletion, you draw 3, trash 2. So this one's just really good, especially like if you want to search your deck for pieces that you're missing. You could hard slam this for 4. The opponent's more than likely gonna kill it. If not, you'll just swing a security and hope it dies, right? Because it might have inherent jamming. But it's a really good card. This is a one-off. Next, we have the final level 4, which is the 4 copies of the new Punkmon from EX07. It is a 6 cost 6k, evos for 3 on top of a level 3 Digimon that's purple or red. And then when Digivolving on top of an evil, it costs 2. So all of our rookies are evil, so this would be a 2 cost evo. Except if we do Ignitemon or the what's his name, Gilmon, if I make those changes. Then when Digivolving, if you have 1 of your Tamers, you may play 1 Yuki from your hand without the costs, paying the costs, and then your turn, this Digimon gets 2k DP. This is a good way for you to boost your stack. So we're running this one at 4. I wouldn't change any of the 4s. I think these are just fine. So then moving on, we're going into our level 5s. We are running the 4 copies of Loudmon. This is the level 5 from the new line, and it's a 7 cost 7k, evils for 4 on top of a purple that's a Digimon that's purple or red. And then when Digivolving over a Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon, it costs 3. So most of, like the majority, it meets the requirements. So we are evoing for 3 all the time. And then has an on play when Digivolving. You trash 2 cards in your hand, then delete when your opponent's Digimon 10,000 P or less. This one is a good way for you to reduce your hand size. Just by going into him, you trash 2. Even if there's nothing to pop, you're still trashing 2 cards. And then the inheritance, what makes the deck interesting is while you have fewer cards in your hand, all of your Digimon with the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait gain Secret Attack +1. If it did for all Digimon with the Evil trait, it would have been great. Like Evil Dragon, Dark Dragon. That way at least our rookies will be able to swing for 2 checks. but I know they wanted to keep it inside the dragon. But this one we are running it at 4. Next we have 3 copies of Digimon. This one's a card I've been trying to test out since we're trying to also snipe the opponent's hand. We're running 3 copies of him. He's a 7 cost 7k, he was for 3 on top of a purple. And then on play, when Digivolving, your opponent has 5 of your cards in their hand, delete one of your opponent's 4 lower Digimon. If they have 7 or more cards in their hand, you trash 1 card. Then it has an on deletion that if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, you may play 1 Digimon from your trash without paying the cost. This is a good way for you to just clear their Digimon on their side because it's a 5 or lower. So most of the time they'll have like a Digimon that's a 5 or lower, unless they have a level 6, then that wouldn't trigger, right? But if they have 7 more cards in their hand, you just they have to pitch a card. And then when attacking, your opponent may trash 1 card in their hand, and if they don't, then you can play out a level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. This is a good way for you to keep playing things out by effects. So you swing at security with a level 6, that you ask them if they want to pitch a card. If they don't, cool, you get to play out a body. So that's another body you will be able to have. Combos really well, now that I think about it, with the Gilmon, where they don't want to pitch anything. Cool, you have a level 3, play this, late game, gains rush. You're able to swing 2 checks, right, with the rush that just came in. So this one we're running it at 3. That's it for our levels 5. So I was thinking of adding the new Orochi, the 6k, 6 cost 6k I believe. Has blocker and undeletion, you trash a card, and I think you pop a level 4 or 5. But that one, we're not running it just because I wanted to try out this version. I might add it. But next we're moving into our level 6. We are running, essentially it's 3 copies, but I currently am missing a copy of the HeavyMetalDramon. One of my friends let me borrow one in the tournament tonight, so I could have the 3 copies that I was testing with. Shout out to Tim. We were playing at Psychotour Collectibles here in SoCal. But yeah, we are running 3 copies of the HeavyMetalDramon. It's a 13 cost 13k, evils for 5 on top of a purple and a red level 5 Digimon. And then if it's a Dark Dragon, Evil Dragon, evils for 4. Then as a 1 Digivolving, you trash 2 cards in your hand, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less CP as this Digimon. At most, you'll be 17k with this Digimon, with the inherit of the Punkmon and the Impmon. And then end of your turn, once per turn, you may play 1 card with the Evil, Dark Dragon, or Evil Dragon trait and a play cost 8 or less from your hand without paying the cost. And then for each card in your hand, remove 1 from this effect's play cost maximum. So this is why we want to get rid of our hand, because we want to go into the level 6 pass turn, and then end of turn triggers. If we have 1 card in hand, we could play out a 7 cost. If we have 2 cards in hand, we'll play out a 6 cost, so on and so forth. The lesser hand, if we don't have a hand, then we play out an 8 cost. So a lot of the cards here are hovering between 7 to 3. So we are able to play something. But if you just keep getting cards bounced back to you, and then you have just constant card draw, then it's hard to meet the threshold. Sometimes you're not even to play anything just because you have way too many cards to actually play something out. But it's a really good card. You get to pop something on their side, you get to play out some body. So I do like it. The only thing that I don't like is that it doesn't have any protection, so it is very vulnerable. If they do an option or if there's an effect that pops a Digimon, there goes your stack and you're without a stack. But we are running this one at 3. Next we're running 3 copies of the Digimon from EX06. This one is 11 cost 11k, it evils for 3, which is a lot cheaper than the Heavy Metal over 5 that's purple. And then it has an on play when Digivolving. You delete one of your opponent's low 5 or lower Digimon. If that's affected in delete, then they have to trash a card in their hand. And then your turn, when your opponent has 5 or fewer cards in their hand, this Digimon gains rush and super attack +1. So it's very cool when you evil for 3, keep turn, can't pop anything, they have to trash a card in their hand, and if they only have 5 cards in their hand, then you get secret attack +1. So then you're able to swing 2 checks. This one combos really well with the Neo Devi, because the moment they have 10 cards in the trash and then Neo Devi dies, you could play out a Dan Devimon from your trash while paying the cost, and then if they have 5 cards or fewer, it gains rush. If not, it's just there waiting for you to use it next turn, but at least you get to take out a card when you play it. So we're running this one at 3. That's all for level 6s, and then we are running 3 level 7s, and then we are running the Ravemon Burst Mode. And then this one's a 15, costs 15k, that equals for 5 on top of a level 6. We don't have the Keenan, so we're not ever gonna burst, and we're not running the regular Ravemon, so the other effect doesn't matter. But it has a when digivolving, you get to search your opponent's hand, trash 1 card among it, and then if they have 7 fewer cards in their hand, they get to add the top card of security to their hand. And then when attacking, by returning 1 Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the same name as that card. So this one's a good way for you to look at what your opponent has, pitch something that they need, and then if you ever to go the next turn, you get to swing, bottom deck something, and then pop their stack if they have that stack on the like a single stack. This helped me prevent myself from getting Shine Gray Burst Mode aced, because my friend Regina, she was playing Syndromon. She had a very big hand size. I think she had 8 cards in hand. I went into Burst Mode, looked at her hand. She had a Tamer. She already had 3 Tamers out. She had another Tamer in her hand, and she had a Shine Gray Burst Mode in the hand. If she would have just hard dropped that for age, she would have cleared my stack. So what I ended up doing is that I looked at the hand, saw it, and then I just pitched it. And then the following turn, I believe she had a Syndromon. I was hoping she had another one in trash, so then when we were to swing, I would bottom deck the Syndromon and pop her Digimon, but she didn't. But it did happen in the sim where someone was playing the loop deck for the Ponchesmons. They had like 5 different Ponchesmons on the field. I swung, I bottom deck a Ponchesmon, and all those Ponchesmons went away. So we are running this one at 3. I think it's a really good ace. It doesn't see a lot of like Burst Mode doesn't see a lot of play outside of the Ravemon, but it does really help. So we're running this one at 3. Next we have our Tamers. We're going into 3 copies of Shoto Kazama, the new Tamer from EX07. This one's a 3 cost Tamer, and then start your main phase, your opponent has a Digimon gain a memory, and then end of your turn, by suspending this Tamer, one of your opponent Digimon gains piercing and blocker until end of your opponent's turn. Then if they have board 6 forward in trade, you get to unsuspend it. Second part of it won't activate, and then we're mainly wanted for the blocker because HeavyMetalDramon already plays as a Digimon out. So then if we have this end of turn, we get to give that Digimon blocker. And then usually how I was doing is that I would go into a Heavy Metal, I will play out the on deletion Devimon, have the Shoto give him blocker, and then if they were to swing, I would block, they would do their effects, he would die, and then either they get to pitch a card or I get to draw 1 and trash 1. Right? It helped me set up my plays with the trash. So I really do like having this at 3. It's a really good card. Next we have 3 copies of the new Tamer for this line, which is Yuki. Same thing, she's a 3 cost Tamer, she's a Liberator, just like Shoto. Start main phase, same thing, you gain a memory if your opponent has a Digimon. And then if you have fewer, this has the same effect as the egg, is main. If you have 4 fewer cards in your hand, by suspending this Tamer, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with a Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait in the trash without for the cost, right? It doesn't say for the cost, but it's basically for the cost. I do like the memory game aspect of the Tamer. I don't like the second effect just because it's sometimes I don't have enough. I have way too many cards in my hand for the effect to actually trigger. So it's just that Tamer, aside from giving me that memory. When it does happen, it's nice that you're able to suspend her to just digivolve in the trash. Unfortunately, If anything, I'll probably cut this one down to 2 and then probably run something else, either the Vortex Resonance option if I can. If not, maybe other Tamers like Digimon Emperor, or maybe like Louis or something that would benefit me better, right? But we're running this at 3, and then we're going into our options. We have 3 copies of Wisdom Training. Really good card. 2 costs, helps us search. We will top 2 cards. I want purple card and then bottom deck the second one. And then it has a delay. When you purple Digimon with Digivolve, you would trash it to reduce the cost by 2. So the really good card. Help us search, help us Digivolve for reduced costs. So we're running this one at 3. Next we have 2 copies of Miss Memory Boost, 3 cost option that you trash the top 2 cards of your deck and you draw 1. And then delay is gain a memory. So this one is just helps us set up our trash so that we have materials for our HeavyMetalDramon to play it out. If not, if we have a Neo Devi, they have 10 cards in trash, and then we mill the Devimon, then this helped us mill that. We swing dice, play out the Devi. So it's a good way for you to mill your deck. So running this one at 2. Next I have 1 copy of Calling from Darkness, restricted, cost 1. Daily 1 your Digimon, then return up to Digimon cards from your trash to the hand. If they hit in security, you just add it to hand. It's a good way for you to maybe pop a Digimon, right? Get 2 cards that you're missing from your trash. So it's a good way for you to find pieces that were either trash or they died, right? So we're running the 1-off. And then lastly, we have 2 copies of Crimson Blaze. Since we do have red in the deck, we are able to use this. Really good against decks that go wide. I think Crimson Blaze my friend when we were playing. She had like 5 bodies on the field, paid us for 1, cleared the whole field, and then she wasn't able to play stuff by effects. So it's a really good card. I would probably change this. I think maybe as a 1-off is okay. I did bottom deck 2 off of Wisdom Training today, and then that was not great. It was pretty funny, but if I would make any changes, I would probably swap this out for another option, maybe another level 5, so we run the 8 level 5s. If not, maybe Rivals Barrage or some security bombs, so that we have ways to clear the opponent's stack if they're protected by Digimon effects. And that is it for tonight's deck profile video on HeavyMetalDramon. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like and a subscribe. Any questions or comments, feel free to share them down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.